UFC Louisville is coming up this weekend, and today, guys, I have the complete betting guide for you with timestamps if you'd like to skip to any part of the video. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another video. If you are new here, my name is Kyle. I'm your guy with too many YouTube channels, and like I just said, guys, welcome back to another complete betting guide. This one is, unfortunately, going to be a little bit different because before we get into the betting guide, I have a very, very important note for you guys. I don't know if you feel the same way. I don't see a lot of people really talking about it. I believe this card is one of the most difficult fight cards to ever bet on in the entirety of the UFC. I think there's so many fights here that are so close and so closely contested. The matchmakers did a fantastic job. This should be an absolute banger to watch. I have my selection of confident picks. I even have what I believe to be my lock. I am not super confident in any of these. For the sake of the video, I picked some fighters that I believe are, if you made me sit down and use my money, this is what I'd be doing. But I don't even think I'm going to be really betting much at all on this card. I think I'm going to stick with LFA, one championship. I see a couple spots that I want to bet on. But for UFC, this card is so good and so closely contested. I believe if anybody's making videos saying, yep, this guy should win, aside from a couple fights, of course, I think that's crazy. I do. So I need you guys to understand that going into this video, that if you happen to just take what I say, which I don't suggest you ever do, take what I say and just place a bet on it. Typically, I have some pretty good reads, but this card is one of the diciest cards we've seen in a long time. I think it's very important to note. With that being said, let's get into it. So the first confident pick, and I have a problem even saying confident pick over here, is going to be Daniel Marcos. I made a full card breakdown video diving into as deep with these fights as I can go. So this is kind of just the betting guide videos are a little bit of a sum up of that, but long story short, I like what I've seen from Daniel Marcos. Even in this no contest win over here, he was well on his way to winning the decision. Even before that, from what we've seen so far, I like the technique that he has. I like the way he mixes up his combinations. He's on a roll. He's in his prime. I'm feeling very good about Daniel Marcos. But in saying that, John Castaneda is a very, very good fighter himself, and he's going to be a very good test. The thing is, too, I do like the opponents that Daniel Marcos has faced. John Castaneda has fought some really, really good guys himself, but I just think that the momentum that Daniel Marcos is on, the technique that he shows, I like him. I like him to win this fight, and I'm definitely going to be picking him to win. Let's continue on to the next part, okay? The next fighter that I am fairly confident in is going to be Taylor Lapilus. Cody Stamann, unfortunately, hasn't been able to put it together. In saying that, though, he's been put through the absolute ringer of opponents. Like, everybody he's faced have been so good. So he's a great fighter in himself, but the problem is he's getting up there in age for the bantamweight division. Taylor Lapilus, I know that he lost to Farid Basharat, and I'm still high on Farid Basharat. I like what he's shown in the loss. For example, like Cody Stamann, if he comes out to wrestle, what Taylor Lapilus showed against Farid Basharat is, I will never accept bottom position. I want to get up, and I want to take you out. Before that, he's been looking really good. He's been looking really, really good, and I can't wait to see him continue on in the bantamweight division. This is going to be a good test for him, and I think that he's going to end up winning this fight. Let's continue on to the next fight. Now, guys, actually, this one's a gut feeling. It's not too much to break down for this one. Let me know what you think about this. Julian Marquez versus Zach Reese. I just feel like in this fight, Julian Marquez will be the bigger mass in there. If Zach Reese wants to clinch with him, if Zach Reese wants to try and submit him, I just feel like Julian Marquez will be able to kind of push him off and just outstrike him. This one I'm actually feeling okay about, but the problem is I don't necessarily want to just go off of gut feelings. So I don't know if you guys ever have those fights, but the gut feeling is honestly that Julian Marquez will get this one done. I haven't been impressed with Zach Reese. He gets knocked down to get a submission. He lost to Cody Brundage, and I know Julian Marquez has been through his wars, but he's lost to pretty good guys, and I don't think Zach Reese has fought anybody that will drag him into the war that I believe that Julian Marquez will drag him into. I need to see more from Zach Reese before I pick him to win a fight like this. So I feel like Julian Marquez will just be a little too much for Zach Reese to handle at this point in his career. That's kind of where I'm sitting at. And of course, guys, the last confident pick I have for you is going to be Dustin Jacoby. I can't trust Dominic Reyes anymore. His chin's gone. Seems to be gone. We know he had a little bit of a brain bleed, or I think it was a brain bleed. There was something going on with his brain. He's been getting flatlined. He's been getting destroyed. He's past his prime now. He's 34 years old, and I don't trust him to show up either healthy, and I don't trust him to be confident. I don't trust his chin. Dustin Jacoby's a fantastic kickboxer, and I know he's 19-8. He's fought some really good guys with some controversial decisions in there. I think that he's going to be able to beat Dominic Reyes. It's going to be really sad to see. I feel like for this fight, the right thing to predict, the correct thing to predict, is for Dominic Reyes' chin to not hold up. If it holds up, great. This would be a different story if Dominic Reyes, if I wasn't worried about his chin, because I think Dominic Reyes is the better fighter. It's just at this point in his career, I can't pick him. I can't pick him, unfortunately. Now, guys, let's talk about an underdog opportunity. I have one underdog opportunity for you. This fight is not necessarily a pick of mine. I'm just talking about if there was to be an upset on the card, it wouldn't shock me, okay? It wouldn't shock me, and that's going to be Jesse Butler. I'm not really ready to count out Jesse Butler like everybody is. Now, I'm over on Betway over here, and oh, there it is. Okay, at the time recording this video, he is at plus 450. I was looking at OddsJam, and Brad Katona was flying around the minus 500 something. I would pick Brad Katona to win this fight, honestly, but I think it's a lot closer than that. You got to think about the striker that Jesse Butler is. Look at the giant reach advantage that he has. I know he came into the UFC, and I know he got steamrolled by Jim Miller. Maybe that was a one-off performance. Brad Katona isn't this huge test of the division. I can see an upset happening there. That's all. I'm picking Brad Katona to win, but if you're thinking about underdog opportunity, that is huge value. Now, guys, I want to talk about lock of the week. Typically, we have a whole avoid these fights section, but I'm skipping that this week because you should be avoiding the vast majority of fights on this card. I don't know if that's necessarily what you click on the video for, so I would love to get some opinions down below, but I just want to be as honest with you guys as possible. But out of every fighter on the card, the fight that I am most confident in is going to be Thiago Moises to defeat Ludovic Clen. I think Thiago Moises is just a very well-rounded fighter. He's coming off of a fantastic performance in his last fight, and even in his losses, he's lost to some of the best guys. Even before the 18, like I know he's 18-7, but Thiago Moises has been improving still. He's only 29 years old. He is a very dangerous fighter. He's a very complete fighter. No matter where you take the fight, Thiago Moises can hang with you. I think he's extremely underrated, and I think he's just going to beat Ludovic Clen no matter where the fight goes. This I am fairly confident in, but even then, I'm not sure I want to bet on it. I'm not sure I want to put my money where my mouth is. So, out of every fight on the card, the fighter that I'm most confident in is going to be Thiago Moises. One that I thought about including, but I didn't, is Raul Rosas Jr., but that's just because I think the UFC is pushing him. I think the UFC just wants Raul Rosas Jr. to win, so he could win over there. But either way, guys, I talk a lot about betting on this channel, okay? I talk a lot about betting. If you're interested in either supporting the channel or seeing where I actually end up putting my money where my mouth is, if you want, you can check out the channel membership. It'll be in the pinned comment in the description down below. Very cheap compared to other channels. Again, you can show your support or see exactly what I'm betting on every Thursday or Friday before an event. I will be posting a members-only video and a YouTube community post for members explaining my choices, exactly what I'm doing. This weekend, I'm probably going to just touch LFA in one championship. I don't know if I'm even going to play UFC. If not, like maybe some round lines. Like, this is really tough. It's really tough fight to pick. So, I'm going to be completely honest with you guys. Again, I want to be as honest as I can on the channel. If you're interested in taking a look at comparing maybe your research to my picks and what I know about MMA, if you're interested in doing that, I would suggest waiting a week. Regardless, something that you shouldn't wait a week for is OddsJam. We have a sponsorship with OddsJam. If you guys want to use OddsJam, you can use my link in the description down below or the pinned comment and use code Clenbat. If you want to sign up to OddsJam, you can get a discount over there. It's fantastic, especially if you have multiple sports books. The odds are up very quickly. There's a lot of tools you can use on there, and I think it's a fantastic site. I use it myself. But let's actually go over to OddsJam. So, guys, first of all, thank you very much for considering your support, and thank you for being here watching the video. Sorry to put a pause on here. So, I want to take a look at some potential props over here. And as of right now, as of the time of recording this video, you're only going to see some over-unders. So, this is a little bit more of the fun part of the video, guys, because it's nothing solid. It's just like, oh, you know what, I can see that. But even this, Montel De La Rosa, Andrew Lee, no way I'm hitting that for minus 425. I think that's absolutely crazy. Oh, and I'm still getting used to my buttons, and I'm messing up everything. I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry. Sorry about that. The round lines are even interesting over here. The round lines might be what I end up doing. I don't like that they're just over 2.5, though. I like the over 1.5s. I hate 2.5s. Cody Stamen, Taylor Lapilus, I can see that one going, but that's even minus 350. Like, what are we going to hit over here? What are we going to hit? Even over 3.5 for the main event, Nasruddin Imavov and Jared Cannonier. Even over 3.5 is minus 227. Man, that's crazy to me. That is absolutely insane. Yeah, dude. I don't know if I like any of these. Zacharias, Julian Marquez, I don't even know. That's plus money for over 1.5, but I don't think that I don't even think that's going to happen. Bruno Ferreira and Dustin Stolfus is an interesting one because over 1.5 is plus money on that. That's interesting. Ludovic Clen, Thiago Moises, excuse me. Over 2.5 at minus 166. Not too bad. Not too bad on that. But man, yeah, this card is just ridiculous to bet on. This card's ridiculous, dude. I hope you guys are enjoying the video, man, because like I was talking about my full card breakdown, I don't necessarily... I didn't pick a lot of fights. I kind of just gush as a fan on what I'm excited to see. But let's take you over to the next section of the video, which is the fun parlays, guys, where we can just be stupid, put some parlays together, see what we can get for it. So I'm just going to pick some stuff. I'm going to pick Nasruddin Imavov, Raul Rosas Jr., Soriano, Julian Marquez, Dustin Jacoby, Bruno Ferreira, Thiago Moises, Daniel Marcos, Denise Gomez, Taylor Lapilus, Carlos Pratt, Brad Katona, Andrioli. What do we get over here? Jeez, man. If you want to throw $5 down on that ridiculous parlay, you get $3,745. That's crazy. But let's see like what we can actually put together, man. Because let's say we take a couple confident picks. Ones that I didn't include, again, were Raul Rosas Jr. and Nasruddin Imavov. Because it's more about me picking Raul Rosas Jr. because I know the UFC wants him to win. And Nasruddin Imavov, I don't know if he's going to... He's a better fighter than Jared Cannonier, but Jared Cannonier, I believe, is on the sauce. And he looked too good in his last fight, so I don't know. Maybe he can knock out Nasruddin Imavov. I'm just not ready to say they're necessarily confident picks. But even then, I don't know, man. Like, this card's so ridiculous to pick. You want Thiago Moises, but I don't even know if I would want to parlay Thiago Moises because I'm shocked that he's an underdog, to be honest with you. I might just even hit that. If you want to pick, like, Dustin Jacoby, and you want to pick another favorite, like, Brad Katona is definitely not worthy betting on. Taylor Lapilus, maybe. Maybe you can. That's an okay parlay you can do. But even then, I personally will not be making parlays this time around. Unless it's round lines, I will not be making parlays this round. There's no way. Too much can go wrong in this card. Like, even Julian Marquez, one that I like, is just plus money. What a difficult card to bet on, man. What a really difficult card to bet on. What if, like, the fights that I'm feeling, like, decent about? Let's see what we can get for that. Nasruddin Imavov, Raul Rosas Jr., Julian Marquez, Dustin Jacoby, Thiago Moises, Taylor Lapilus. That's all. Jeez, that's tough. That's even 20 times. If you want to put $5 on that, you get $100. Still not worth hitting to me, but man, I am not feeling good about this card. What do all the underdogs get? If you guys don't know, my sister and I, we put 10 cents on every underdog just to see. Well, you never know, right? You never know. Let's see what we get over here, which will be really funny. Oh, there we go. 0.10. See, it's a close fight. There's not even a lot of underdogs, usually in the hundreds of thousands. So, guys, I know this is a little bit of a different video for the betting guide. I apologize. Honestly, I just want to be as transparent as possible. This is one of the most difficult fight cards that you could bet on out of everything. Out of everything that you could bet on, this is one of the most difficult cards we've had in a very long time. Let me know if you agree with me on this. Let me know if there's any spots that you like. I would love to know why in the comments. Like, explain to me. Help me. I don't know what I'm going to be doing for UFC this time around. I probably see a couple spots in LFA and one championship, but for UFC this weekend, man, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Let me know what you thought down below. Thank you very, very much for watching. Thank you for being here. If you were interested, check out the full card breakdown. Mostly me gushing about how much I'm liking the card, how much I'm liking the fights. I will see you over there, guys. Take care.